All right, we have a story from Best of Redditor Updates, and this one is titled, My Husband Doesn't Know That I Know What He's Up To. Because then he'll know that I know that she knows that I know that you know that they know, and then, you know. My 33 female husband, 34 male, and I had our first baby back in June of last year. My husband's aunt gifted our son a lovely, chunky knitted blanket. The blanket is so soft, and I have made multiple comments about how I would like to find a full-size blanket just like it because it is so cozy and I'm kind of jealous of my baby. Well, this past weekend, my husband snuck off to the store. He refused to tell me where he was going and why, but I later found a plastic bag with the logo of a local crafting store. That evening, DH stated that he would like to have an hour of alone time every night after our son goes to sleep. He stressed that he would not like to be disturbed, but if I needed him, then I could call or text him. I agreed to this because we were both adjusting to having very little me time since the birth of our son. Yeah, that doesn't really change ever. Last night, during his alone time, our son started crying. I checked the baby monitor and saw that he had simply lost his pacifier and was going back to sleep. However, the baby monitor also shows part of our son's room, not just his crib. In the corner of his room, I saw my husband sitting on the floor with a bunch of chunky yarn in front of him. I turned the volume up and heard that he was watching a YouTube video on how to finger knit. This sweet man is making me a blanket. He absolutely loves surprising me, but is terrible at keeping secrets. I just know that he's going to slip up and accidentally mention something about the blanket at some point. I plan on acting clueless so that I will still be surprised when he gives it to me. I just love him so much, and I'm so delighted that he's learning a new skill so I can have a custom blanket. Relevant comments. Comment here. OMG, the title makes it sound like it could have been something else, but it's so cute. Also, why do men seem to always forget about the baby monitor? For sure. Also, probably need to put earbuds in if you're watching a YouTube video in the baby's room while the baby's trying to sleep, bro. Comment, because he isn't being deceptive. If anything, he has allowed her to know that he isn't up to anything by being in the view of the baby monitor. He's being very transparent about the surprise gift, and I love this for OP. It is something I will steal and do for my partner when we have kids. Original OP, so he just came home from work and mentioned his alone time again. To keep up the facade, I asked him what he would be doing during that time, and he just said, just working on some stuff. Since he's terrible at keeping surprises, he always tells me, I have something planned, but I can't tell you what it is. And then we do this back and forth where I ask about it and he refuses to tell me. So for the sake of his surprise to me, I will keep occasionally asking him what he's up to during his alone time. Comment, thank you for this lovely post and sweet story that is restoring some of my faith in marriage and humanity today. Yep. We definitely need that. Please, please, please don't let me come back in several weeks to an update that he used the blanket to pay off a gambling debt, gave it to his best friend's ex for her birthday, or made it into a furry suit for himself. Reddit has been absolutely unhinged the past few months. Original OP, if he managed to knit himself a furry suit, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be wildly impressed that he had such talent. Comment, what a sweet, lovely partner. Mine can't keep a secret either, and I love giving the validation of surprise and enthusiasm when they present the final piece to me. Just wonderful. Original OP, if you ask my husband, he'd tell you he's very good at surprising me. But little does he know he's actually very obvious whenever he's planning something. I'm rarely surprised, but always act like I am. This is super, super wholesome. Super, super wholesome. Okay, here's the update. Update March 13th, 2024. The original was posted February 26th. Brief backstory. I posted recently about how I checked the baby monitor while my son was sleeping and saw my husband sitting on the floor of my son's room, finger knitting a blanket for me after I made a comment on how I wanted a chunky blanket. My sweet husband broke. He kept on mentioning that he was working on a surprise for me. I would occasionally ask what the mystery project is, and he would get a cheeky smile and say, I can't tell you. That eventually evolved into him repeatedly telling me that keeping the surprise was really hard and he wanted to just tell me. I kept saying, no, you've kept it a surprise for so long, you can keep going. But one day after dinner, he decided he couldn't keep it in anymore. He showed it to me. It was only about a quarter done, but it was lovely. The yarn was really soft and was my favorite color. I could tell he had taken his time because of the consistency of all of the loops. Even unfinished, it was perfect. He told me that he kept moving it around to different hiding spots, but since our house is very small, it was only a matter of time before I accidentally found it. He said he had run out of yarn and asked if I wanted to pick out another color to add to it. I said yes, and we made a little date out of it. We grabbed lunch and then walked around the craft store before I picked out a complementary color to the one he chose. He hasn't had much time to work on it over the last few days, but he assured me it will be finished by my birthday. I'll post a picture of the blanket when it's finished. For now, I am wildly impressed with how long he kept it a secret, and I'm so excited to have my first ever handmade blanket. Top comments here. Comment, OMG, I was ready for another unhappy story, but this is the sweetest thing I've read on this sub. What a sweet, sweet man. Comment, as a crocheter, if he does not finish before your birthday, whether that is next week or in 5 months, tell him that's totally normal. It's like a rite of crochet passage that gifts are not delivered on or before the intended date. We also need photos. Faith in humanity restored, Cat, for sure. Very nice. I've never knitted a damn thing in my life, but I feel like I need to now. I feel like I need to. I'm like, well, hell, if he can do it, I can do it, by God. Tater, do I have time to take up a knitting hobby? Do I have time? We'll squeeze it in with, I think my 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. time slot is not technically booked right now. So, I mean, I could try to take it on.